I'm gonna send a bunch of video photos, but I also think it's worth taking a little bit of video here. It's kind of hard to illustrate this thing. So one way that you might be able to make something happen here is, this is the sensor, and it actually moves. It's spring loaded, and I believe, let's see, yeah, it moves with this housing because the actual extruders come in and out, and they swap positions. And there is a screw here, and you may be able to do something with this. Now I should also add that in addition to this sensor, the calibration routine, and I'm not sure if it's doing it by current draw or if it's an actual switch underneath here, but when it's calibrating, it does a secondary calibration where it calibrates this nozzle versus this nozzle, and it'll come down, it'll touch, and it'll touch down, and it'll push, and it does the same thing on this one, and that's how it knows the difference between the two. I'm not sure if that is the whatever motor is drawing to swap these positions, if it's just sensing whether or not there's a power surge increase from the resistance of something physical, or if there's actually a switch or a sensor inside of there. So that could make this a little more complicated. But if it is working with some kind of motor current draw to detect that motion, it may be as simple as using this post here. Unfortunately, I don't know offhand how to swap these two without it being powered up and sending a command, which I'm currently running something on my single extruder because this thing's such a piece of crap. But it may be worth looking at that. Let me just go ahead real quick and show you a couple other things here. So here's what the inside looks like, and so you can see that the whole mechanism moves, and this one will also move, and they just kind of swap. And I haven't really studied how it does that so much yet, but it does do that. And I presume that it wouldn't be too terribly difficult to take this apart further. So why don't I start with this video and the photos I took, including some of these measurements, which I can take another one here. Let's see here. Oh, my calipers are... Why isn't this moving? Hang on one second. Okay. So if we measure here, it's that far. The screw holes here are also another potential way for you to mount something. And there's also these screws on the back, which some of them are not used. The ones that are actually used to mount with, I believe it's these off-center ones. It's kind of weird how it sits off-center. So these screws may also be of benefit in some fashion. And there's not a lot of external screws on the device itself. And really, it's a neat module. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's junk. I am so disappointed. I can't believe I spent even more money on this machine. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that'll help you out a little bit. If you need to see something more specific, please ask, and I'll get you whatever you need.